building economics. Others still building economics subjects.
Yeah,
You finished. You already finished pre-contract and post-contract.
no, post-contract finished, you know.
You didn't
Because
come-
I
Why?
came, no, my family did not.
Yeah. Did you get the mail?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. But again, we rescheduled the Viva. Those who didn't come
Yeah.
for that. Did you receive the new revised schedule for Viva?
No.
No problem. I have already sent it to them. Those who missed the Vivas, and the subject of pre and post will come next Friday in the post. So we shall come to that. Right? Without fail, we have to come. Right. Anyway, so this subject is called. There are two major phases in construction. One is called pre-contract. Another one is called the post-contract management. The major areas: pre and post. Before I explain, do you have any ideas about what you mean by pre-contract and what you mean by post-contract? Any ideas? I think you are new.
Yes,
What's your name?
Muhammad Asif
You are
from Pakistan.
you are working as quantity surveyor or?
No, as draftsman.
So you might be aware of the system, the fast track, that we are doing some subjects in a review. But normally the subjects are consisting of 45 hours of lecturing series. And what we do is we just review, something like a brief. Just explain to you to make it prepare for your vivas and assignments, right? So there are normally we have 13, 14 modules for the subjects. We have selected some most important areas where we can apply the practical issues, right? Not the theories. I exclude the theories, only the practicals I just selected. Okay. What do you mean by pre-contract and post-contract? Do you have any concerns of that?
Yes, pre-contract is tendering stage. Pre-contract is tendering stage. While post-contract is when the tender has been signed to become a contract.
Okay. You start the construction from here, inception. It's a combination of both pre and post. It's a combination of both pre and post. I will explain you all the steps. What are the activities we have to do during the pre-contract and what are the things to be done in the post-contract. That is in the building economy subject. Now, for example, if the client wishes to construct a building, from that point, then he will meet the consultants and all. Thereafter, we will issue the tender documents. Understand? We will issue the tender documents and tender documents will be accepted by, we will issue the invitation to tender and that invitation will be accepted by the contractors. Then, as consultant, they will issue the tender documents. They are afterwards, they are acceptance. Then they will do their pricing. Once the constructor do their pricing, then they will submit the tender documents to price tender documents to the consultants. Understand? Price tender documents, the contractors will submit to the consultant. Thereafterwards, the consultants, what we will do is, if I am the consultant, I will evaluate and select a proper contractor. Then I award the job. Right? Again, I tell you, if I am the client, briefly I am telling that, not in detail. If I am the client, first option is I will meet the consultant. Assume he is the consultant firm. And I will tell all the things to him. And based on my requirement, he will prepare all the stuff. Right? Then we will prepare the drawings and everything. Now drawings and we will prepare the BOQs for the consultancy, for the engineering estimate. We will prepare the BOQ and we have some price. We have the engineering estimate. Then based on that, every document is ready. Who is going to build? That is the next question. And before that we have to define what type of contract we have to do. There are different types of contracts. Maybe it's a lump sum contract, maybe it's a reimbursement contract or reimbursable contract. Right? There are various types of contracts. And there are various types of condition terms and conditions also. Everything is, if it is finalized, then what we have to find a proper builder. Builder means the contractor. Right? How to find the builder? There are different ways that we shall call invite the tenderers, right? I will explain that. Then I will issue the tender documents to them. It's a blank tender document. It means without the rate. What you contractors will do is you price it, your rate and everyone's rate will be definitely different, right? Thereafterwards, you will submit your prices, estimated cost to me. Based on your cost and based on your pre-qualification, there are two evaluations I have to do. One is a technical evaluation, another one is a commercial evaluation. Two things I have to check whether you are fit to this job, right? Then after comparing all these stuff, I will select only one.
Technical evaluation of what? Financial.
Yes. Then a commercial evaluation. Thereafterwards, if I finalize all the stuff, what I will do is I will give the job to you. Let's say there are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 9 contractors. Early stage, I have the contacts with all 9. Once I award the contract, I reject you all. You all, someone I'm going to give the project to him also. Only to him. There is no more dealing between the failure tenderers. Right? So up to this stage, before, you and me are going to sign the contract, right? Thereafterwards, you will go to the site and you will start the work. Before initiating the work, it means if you physically go to the site and start mobilizing the work, that is the initiative point of post-contract, and that is the conclusion point. That's the point where we conclude the pre-contract. So I gave the job to you, that's it's finished. Now you and me having a good agreement, strong agreement, it means the contract, it is already signed. That is the conclusion point, that is the ending up point. Pre-contract. That is the ending up point for pre-contract. Inception to the finally we both signed the contract, that's finished. Now, that is pre-contract. Thereafterwards, what you will do is you will come to the site with your laborers and supervisors and everyone, and you will be starting mobilizing the works. Once you come physically to the site and start the work, to hand over the project, understand? I'm going to hand over, once I complete the building within, let's say, 3 years project, so I have completed the building within 3 years or 3.5 years. Then I have to hand over the certain contract to the project to the client's hand. If I hand over, that is what we call the post-contract. Now I'm going to explain something about the pre-contract. There are 2 different companies also, 2 different firms. One is consultancy, another one is the contractors. Consultants and the contractors, they have consultant quantity surveys as well as a contractor quantity surveys. In an overall view, what we are doing is same, but slight difference. Consultant QS duty is different and the contractor's QS duty is different. We should know what are the consultant's duty, what are the contractor's duty. Understand? What are the consultants do? As a quantity survey, if you work for a consultancy, what do you do? As contractors, you are a QS, what do you do? 2 different concepts. But we both are quantity surveys. Understand? We both are quantity surveys, but we are practicing different experiences. We are practicing different activities. Understand?
But we shall be taught for both.
What?
I think we shall be taught for both consultants and
Yeah.
contractors.
Because as QS, we should know both. We can study for the consultancy QS or we can study for the contracting QS. But all of a sudden, we should know everything what is quantity surveying. Then we can choose based on the different things, right? Based on the offer, based on the conditions, based on the companies, based on the recommendations, we shall choose to do. That's up to you. But we should develop both experience at once. Say, throughout the 10 years you are working for one company, it's better. If you always keep on the consultant's experience, it's not good. Both you should have. If you are a fresher to the industry, I suggest, as far as I am concerned, go first to the contractors, then move to the consultants. Why is that? If you go to work for the contractors, then only you will see the things physically. This is the site. These are the activities happening in the site. Physically, you can see those things. Right? and we can deal with so many problems and everything. Thereafter, simultaneously, you will be developing yourself about the construction sites. If you go to the consultant, just now you completed the course, suddenly if you join the consultant, you will be blinded. Always you will deal with the documents. If you work for a consultant, its documentation is very, very important. You will deal with the drawings and you will sit in front of the computer. That is a very good job, comfortable job. And you will go for an inspection once a month or something like that if you are a QS. Even if you are not a site engineer or you are not a residential engineer. If it is a residential engineer, he is a dedicated person to the site to supervise and all. But as QS, we don't need to go every day to the site. QS, consultant QS, right? So if you begin your career with
About contractor QS.
sorry,
Contractor QS.
yeah,
They visit the site also every time.
contractor QS, some contractor QS are always in the site office. Even we are working, we are always in the site office. We are in the site. Even we are dealing with all the commercial use and everything day to day. Right? Sometimes contractor quantity surveys work for the head office also. It depends. Depends on the project. Depends on the requirements. Right? Right. But if you work for a contractor site, normally day to day or twice a day, you have to visit at least once a week. You have to go for a visit. Why? You are the one going to evaluate the money. What is the cost? You are going to climb. So if you don't know what are the works are carried out during this month, every month you have to climb the work what we do. So if you don't be aware of the site, what you do is, you don't know what are the works completed for this particular month of November, you don't know what are the works going to be completed in the month of December. So whatever you claim, everything should be highlighted in the drawings and also it will be inspected by the consultants, then only they will approve it. Day-to-day records and everything is there. So suddenly if you don't have any ideas about the site, you can't do any billing, at least you can't do billing also.
If we are receiving an inspection request
Yeah.
to do the work. When consultant will approve, this is the not for QS relation, which that's why we know which how much work have done.
Yes.
We can understand without going to the site or not. We have to must go to the site.
You must go to the site.
When we
Physically. We should go to the site. Even there are requests for the site inspection and everything, the consultant will come, right? Along with them, we also should go. Then only we will come. Sometimes consultants will request you. Okay, this is the bill you claimed. So physically you can see, is it completed or not. Then and there, it is complete. Otherwise, if you don't know the site, if you claim it, someone is saying to claim for those areas and everything, and finally what will happen? You submit your invoice, there are so many corrections in their payment certificate, and they will send it back to you to revise your invoice. Then you will be in a problem. You are requesting something, price deducted. Why? Quantities changed. They have cut short so many quantities. And the problem is in order to avoid those stuff, take the realistic works. Right? Right. Normally, this is a general process about the construction. Construction means what? It's a combination of buildings, it's a combination of civil stuff and repairs and maintenance. That is the thing. What is construction? Construction means output is we are constructing the buildings. What do you mean by civil or infrastructure works? Tunnels and dams and everything. Roads, all those stuff come under civil stuff. Then repairing, we are repairing the works. That is also construction. Maintenance, that is also construction. All of that, everything is together. That is what we call as construction. Normally the construction activity starts with a thing called planning. You might know about this thing before, but just tell you. Whatever activity you start, you have to do the planning first. Then, based on the plan, you have to design. Once you design, if the design is complete, then what we can do, we can construct. Right, construction is finished now. Then what? Repair and maintenance. It means after 10 years or 5 years, even after 1 year, you might have some problems in the building, existing building. So you have to do the repairs, at the same time you have to do the maintenance. Thereafter, let's say 20-25 years gone. Now you feel that it is better to demolish the building rather than doing the maintenance or repairs further and further. Here in Qatar also nowadays, most of the villas also, which is bad. It means they are going to demolish, right? Because of the age of the building is, 30 years or something like that. Now the government made a rule to demolish all those existing old villas. So, on that case, what we can do is we can demolish that one and we can Review, I mean, we can schedule for the new building. So, if the building is demolished, what is the next idea? We can come back to the planning for the new building.
Yes.
Planning, designing, constructing, repair and maintenance, and demolition. Again, this is the same land, but there are a number of buildings. We don't know before 30 years, there may be some buildings here. We don't know. So the construction industry outputs are this one, the buildings, sewage dams and channels, roads, electrical, telecommunication works, airports, and all. So these are the overall outputs of the construction. It means a combination of civils as well as the buildings. So you might know about these things. What are the types of buildings, right? Under the building there are different types of buildings. We can divide the buildings into 5 major categories. One is a residential building. What do you mean by residential building? Where we used to stay, residential apartments, you know that. Residential buildings, individual houses, apartments, condominiums, and housing schemes. All the things we consider for the living purposes. Residential buildings. All are buildings, different categories. What is next one? Commercial buildings. What is that? Offices, shopping complexes, restaurants, and hotels. Everything is a commercial purpose. Commercial issues. All the commercial purpose, we construct the building. Those buildings lie under commercial buildings. All are buildings, but different purpose. Industrial buildings. Industries. Factories, warehouses. Again, these are also buildings, but industrial buildings. Social buildings, like that. Schools, hospitals, libraries, religious buildings, mosques, temples, museums. All are social. It's a common. And the final, recreational buildings. Swimming pools, cinemas, theatres, and everything. That is for the entertainment purpose also. We are constructing buildings. So these are the major types of buildings. Basically, residential buildings, commercial buildings, industrial buildings, social buildings, and recreational buildings. These are the outputs, major 2 outputs under the building and under the infrastructure. You know what is infrastructure? Nothing to explain. All the things for the civils, right? All the things for the civils. Transport for the transport, irrigation for the transport. What are the works we do? Roads for the transport, bridges for the transport, airports, railways, harbour, everything. Land transport, air transport, water transport, everything. Based on that, we do. For the land transport, it's a road. Air transport is an airport. Water, harbours, and the railways. Canals, irrigation systems, telecommunication, water supply, drainage, electricity, so many things. Other than the buildings, whatever we construct, everything is civil, simply. Right? Right.
So in that case, it's under infrastructure.
Yeah, infrastructure. Civil means infrastructure. Whatever other than we construct, other than the buildings, it's called infrastructure also. Right? And this one will be explained to you in detail, the subject called building economics. There are stakeholders in the construction industry. Stakeholders in the construction industry means the parties who directly involved in the construction. Right? Not directly, maybe indirectly. Simply say, the parties who involved in the construction, we call them as stakeholders of the construction industry. Stakeholders of the construction industry. We can categorize into 2 different. One is the direct stakeholders, another one we can say indirect stakeholders. This will be a detailed study on the building economics subject, right? Client, consultant, and the contractor. I am the client, it means the owner, the consultant, and you are a contractor. 3 major parties are called direct stakeholders. We directly involved in the construction. Understand? There are some parties indirectly involved. Indirectly involved. Who are they? Material manufacturers. Now we need the cement. Where we get the cement? From the cement factory. If there is no cement factory, how we can get the materials? So, without their help, we can't construct. Even though we 3 are major bodies, but we don't have any resources. We have to get the materials, we have to get some other goods and everything from others. So, we have to have the assistance from the cement factory, paint factory, tiles factory, everywhere. It means material manufacturers are helping us. They are also one of the part of the construction. Without their help, we can't do the construction. So they are helping us indirectly, understand? Indirectly. Another one, supply, material suppliers, plant hires, financial institutions, insurance organization, research development organization, regulatory bodies. To construct this building, you have to get some approvals from some other bodies, some regulatory authorities and everything. So, all these bodies are helping us indirectly. So, who are the parties involved in the construction, excluding consultant, contractor, and the client, are called indirect stakeholders of the construction industry. Other parties means mainly three parties: client, consultant, and the contractor. These three parties are called as direct stakeholders of the construction industry. Understand? Everyone has certain different types of duties and responsibilities. Client's duty is different, consultant's duty is different, contractor's duty is different. Even we have three different type of quantity surveys. Even client uses them, consultant uses, contractor. Likewise, we have different quantity surveys. We don't need to worry about what others professions are doing, what other professionals are doing. We don't need to worry about. We should know what ask us what I should do. Right? That's the difference. The role of the quantity surveys. The role of the quantity surveys means the work of the quantity survey in the construction of the building. Summarize the service of the chartered quantity survey published by the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. So normally we can say the services of a chartered quantity survey. Normally for the consultancy firm, we call the chartered quantity surveyors institutions, chartered quantity surveyors companies. Right? Why we say chartered quantity surveys is highly recommended for the consultancy firm is their requirement is must. To implement the project, to get an idea, to implement it, we should need an assistant of the chartered quantity surveyors. Right? They are the masters in quantity surveying. You know the chartered accountants, you know the chartered engineers, likewise we have the chartered quantity surveyors. Right? There are different ways to become as a chartered QS, right? We have to follow certain courses after your industrial experience for the 2 years. You know the institute called Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. Have you heard about that? As QSs you should know because this is our profession. It is internationally it is governed by, it is ruled by the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. You shall become a member very simply. Once you apply online, you will suddenly get the student member. Thereafterwards, you have to apply after your degree is completed. Then you have to apply for a APC candidate member. It means chartered member. Then you have to follow 2 years. Then after completion of 2 years, so many things going on. Right?
2 years for the course.
Sorry?
2 years for the course.
2 years?
After the degree. 2 years after the degree.
2 years after the degree means at the time of you complete your degree, you should have some experience, industrial experience. Let's say 2 years, maybe minimum you should have 2 years experience. Minimum, I'm telling you. If you have 10 years experience, within 1 year you can do that course. If you have 10 years of experience, or more than 5 years of experience, I guess. If you have 2 years, less than 2 years, not less than 2 years, minimum is 2 years, then you shall apply for those things. You want to do it for the 2 years. It's something, it's a combination of research and so many things you have to do based on that, right? We are following those things. Right. Advice on, right now, we'll come to the point directly. Advice on what the project would cost. Now, what is the consultant QS duty? His first thing is, he is the only QS, he is the only man can advise the client, your project is going to cost around like this figure. Understand? We have to advise the consultant, the client, okay, this is your project, this is your requirement, this is the, as per the design, this is the cost. So we have to tell them. And about the size and standard structures and given by the expenditure and advise the economical project of the preparation of budget. Right. Main thing is the cost. We can do at early stage approximate estimation. Then we can do preliminary estimation. Then we shall do engineering estimation. There are 3 different types of estimations as per one surveys we shall do. First thing is an approximate estimation. Approximate estimation means just at the beginning stage, at the early stage. Just looking at the requirements of the consultant, looking at the requirements of the client, we know what the client's requirement is. This is the hotel sector, 5-story building, simple example. Right, based on that, I have the past experience with me, so based on that, I can compare the cost. I have the past documents also, the successful construction documents, everything is with me. Based on that, I can predict the cost, what the new building it will cost around. I shall tell. That is approximate, that is not the realistic figure. Why I give the approximate figure means, then and there only the client will come to a certain budget margin without not knowing anything. It is somehow better to know at least the figure. It will meet around 200 million. So he can think of it, whether he can bear the cost or not. He knows his capacity. And based on that he shall think of it. But that it doesn't mean that is the final figure. Right? Initiate your idea, rough figure. Then we have to do during the development of design, it means during the development stage, the plan, drawings and elevation, everything is completed, not the detailed design is completed. Detailed design means the whole thing. Before we come to a detailed design, we shall do the plan, drawings and elevation of work. Those two drawings enough to do the preliminary estimation. There are different types of preliminary estimation. I'll explain in the subject called building equipment subjects. Based on that, at the midway, we shall further predict the cost. That estimation is called preliminary estimation. Or prelims normally. Preliminary estimation we have to do, that is also a very important thing. Then all the drawings, everything is finished now. Complete, 100% drawing is completed. Based on that, as QSs, you know that what we have to do, first take off the quantities. These two are not taking quantities. This one, no any quantity. Here, somehow we take quantities. But here, fully 100% detailed quantity.
Third one is
preliminary estimation.
And third
one is an engineering estimation. First one is an approximate estimation. Then we go for a preliminary estimation.
Preliminary estimation should be able to take up a day.
Preliminary estimation, I will explain in the building economy subject. Preliminary estimation, we normally take all quantities. We just think about the areas of the building and can predict. You know those things, right? And we just think about the volume, something like that. I explained to you, right? Now, engineering estimation means, you know the BOQ. Have you ever seen the BOQ? Everyone is aware of the BOQ. You can't say you didn't see the BOQ. In the BOQ, there are a number of items and everything is clearly mentioned based on the drawing. Even this quantity is also there. How many socket outlets, how many switches, how many AC units, right? Everything is there. It means from the single nut to the roof level, every item is measured because everything has price. Based on that, what we do is every item we shall prepare our rates and we shall come to a conclusion. This is the realistic amount. This is the engineering or tender amount. So then, client will have a clear picture. This is the amount. So we shall come to a conclusion whether to go ahead and predict or not. But these two, preliminary estimation and engineering estimation, should have a relationship. At least, if you do the preliminary estimation, that figure should tally with the engineering estimation somehow 80%. Engineering estimation is a final one. Preliminary estimation is a predicted one. Predicted one and the final ones are so far different means no point of doing the preliminary estimation. So, what the client wishes to from the consultant is your preliminary estimation should be somewhere around equal to the engineering estimation of 80%. So, if it is close by the engineering estimation, then your preliminary estimation is good. Your preliminary estimation say 100 million. After the engineering estimation say 250 million. Is it feasible? No, no point. Right? Based on this 100 million, client will think of it, okay, 100 million is comfortable for you. So afterwards you say 250 million. So what the client can do, he can bear maximum 120 million. After 120 million, he can bear the cost. So what is the only final solution? To terminate the project. No, I can't do this project. It's a loss for the client. So, likewise we have to do. Then, cooperate with the designers to ensure the building can be erected in the approved expenditure. Now, as consultant quantities, what we have to do is we have to always deal with the consultants. We are consultants. We have to always deal with the design team. We have to advise the design team. In case if the cost is somewhere around more than the expected margin of the client, what we can do is we can suggest this cost seems very high, so we have to go for an alternative structural designs. So always we have to interact with the designers. How to change the cost? Two ways: quality and the quantity. That's it. Sometimes we can change the quality of the material. Sometimes we can change the quality of the quantity of the materials. It means change the design. Once you verify the design further and further, you can minimize the cost. Stick to your budget. Then exercise the cost controlling and cost planning. Now what SQSs, what we have to do is we have to plan the cost. We have to do the cost planning as well as we are the one going to do the cost controlling throughout the project. Right? And we have to prepare the tender documents also. Again, another duty is we are the one have to prepare the tender documents. The major duty of another QS is prepare the tender document. We have to prepare the tender document fully. Right? All these ones are quantities available, and we have to prepare the tender document and ensure the financial provisions of the contract rates. Yes, that's a preparation of rates. Then we will call the tenderers. They will price it. Then they will submit their tender documents to us. Then what? Who is the one going to choose a proper contractor? Again, the QS. Why? We are the one prepare all the commercial issues, all the tender document, everything is prepared by the QS. We know we are the one prepare the engineering estimate. Now, based on my estimation, I am going to select a proper contractor. My estimation is that I am going to select a proper contractor. So that is again my duty. Means the quantity surveyor's duty to select the one proper contractors. It means the process is called tender evaluation process. I have to evaluate your cost versus my cost. It doesn't mean by just looking at the final figure I can come to any conclusion. I have to break up your cost. Let's say my estimation say 200 million. You are coming out with 150 million. You say I can build this building in 250 million. You can come out with 300 million. So different final figure. I can't come to a conclusion to give the project to the lowest or give the project to the highest. No. What I have to do is I have to break up my cost. You know, in the BOP there are different work sections. Right? My cost for the concrete work is this amount. What about your cost for the concrete work? What about your cost for the concrete work? What about your cost for the concrete work? Likewise, I shall compare my cost versus your cost. Then what is the variance? Then what is the variance between you and me? What is the variance between you and me? Likewise, I said
same weights of quantity.
yes, same quantity, only the amount. I am going to check with the amount because quantity is same to everyone. Because we are all going to do the same project.
Yeah.
Quantity is same to everyone. Only the problem is the amount. Why? You are with a different amount, you are coming with a different amount, you are coming with a different amount. Why is that? Your rates are different, that's it. You are coming up with different rate. Why? All the quantities, all the companies, fixed quantity. Quantity is fixed. We are working for the same project. Right? Likewise, each and every item, I have to do the detailed comparisons of cost. Then I can study your pricing, then I shall come to a conclusion that, okay, finally, to whom to award the project? After the detailed tender evaluation, that is what we call tender evaluation. First thing is technical and commercial evaluation. It means I have to think about your past history, I have to think about your successful constructions, and I have to think about your company profile. You know, simply saying the company profile. It's very important. You are a successful contractor or not. I have to think of it. And you are in line with my requirements. I am expecting my contractor to be something with a certain qualities. Everything is fit to you. So fine. That is also one of the checklists. I have the checklist with me. I will check my checklist. Everything is okay. I will take it off. Right? Likewise, we have to do the tender evaluation. Finally, we have to prepare the tender evaluation report. It means it will say what are the main factors I am selecting you and what are the other factors guiding you to reject. Then only everyone will come to know, oh, because of this and this reason they have rejected us. So it's crystal clear. The project is awarded to you. Understand? These are the duties of consultant QSs. Understand? Consultant QSs. Now, what about the contractor QSs? Contractor QSs. You know how many duties I have told you? Now, contractor QS means what? It's important, right? For your viewers. Contractor QS means what? Is he going to design? Is he going to directly deal with the client?
Only for calculation quantity.
Where the contractor's duty begins is where they show any advertisements or where they receive any invitation to tender. From your company, you might receive something from your mail. This is the company, Mr. Attention to some of your managers or something like that. We have a project for, let's say, commercial real properties, and this is the task and everything. If you are willing to participate for this tender, please send us your reply as soon as possible. It means they are expecting our expectation. I mean, they are expecting our acceptance. Once we say, I'm very interested to participate in this tender, then what will happen? Next process. Okay, we will issue all the tender documents to you. Then you give your best prices. Tender document will be given back to you. Now, as contracted users, suddenly can we say, okay, I'm going to participate in this tender? No. As a contractors, we should know what is this project. You know, how many projects currently we are running? What about my resources? This is high-rise building. I'm only doing villa projects only. So is it possible for me to suddenly go and start the high-rise building? No, never. We have to think of it. About my resources, about the projects in my hand, and also I have to think about who is the client of this project, who is the consultants of this project.
Future.
Yeah, what is the type of a contract is this? What is the mode of payments? You know, all the things we have to consider before we accept. Otherwise, it's a wastage of time for you and me. Even though you submit the tender, you receive the tender document, but finally your pricing and everything is lost. It means you lose the tender. It's a wastage of your time. How many QSs are working for that? How many managers are working for? Last 3 months we are highly involved in the pricing, but at the end of the day, you lose the project. It means what? It's a loss for us. We pay the salaries for our staff and work on that certain project. So, suddenly we can't come to any conclusion. Looking at all the factors, we have to come to a conclusion, okay, we shall participate in this competition. It means in this tender. Then we say our acceptance to the consultants, and then they will give us the tender documents. On that tender document, what are the things are there? Everything is there. Drawings, specifications, BOQ, form of tender, articles to the contract, everything is there. Then what we have to do? Start pricing. We have to start pricing. We have to start pricing means BOQ. Items here, descriptions, everything is there, quantity is there, rate, amount. These are blank, everything is free. What are the work sections, what are the items, what are the quantity? Only the thing is your rate. Each and every item from A to Z, you have to apply your own rate, and finally the rate multiplied by quantity, amount. Amount will be, at the finally we will get the amount. It doesn't mean whatever quantity is given by the consultant is correct. 100% is it correct? No, we can't say. That's why they use the tender drawings. There are two different drawings. Tender drawings, contract drawings. At the initial stage, the consultants will issue you the tender drawings. Thereafter, so many amendments will be made, and it will be finalized before you construct the work. That is what we call contract drawings. Understand? So, based on the tender drawings, we have to work out whether we have to check the BOQ, what the BOQ is issued by the consultant, it's correct or not. We can't say all the things issued by the consultant is correct. There may be some items missing. The drawing says something. BOQ, there is no such item. Some other problem. So we have to liaise with the consultants. As a consultant, I have gone through your BOQ, but unfortunately I couldn't find some items in the drawing. I found some items in the drawing, but I'm unable to find those items in the BOQ. So what is the solution for that? Is it going to be installed by yourself? No problem. No. Yeah, there are options are there. Some items, for example, let's say, materials will be issued by the client. Only the installation will be made by the contractor.
By the contractor.
Yeah. So, for example, I'm going to do the fit these doors and windows. So, my rate say something means I'm the one going to purchase this materials and I'm the one going to fit that. So, my rate will be inclusion of labor cost, material cost, plant cost and everything else. overheads and profit, that's a different story. If some materials will be delivered by the client, if it is the case, I can't claim the money for the material, only I have to claim the money for the installation purpose only. For the installation I need only labors and plant. Exclusion of material cost. So, on that case, it will be clearly mentioned to you in the BOQ. Materials supplied by the client. So, you know that. What is the meaning of it, right? Those things will be there, no problem whatsoever. We have to make it conform with the consultants about your clarifications and everything. That's why we have some pre-bid meetings during the tendering stage. Pre-bid meetings means you shall come out with any queries, whatever queries you come across, you just say to the consultants and they will have a negotiation with you guys and they will come to a conclusion. Sometimes, if you found some difficulties or something like that, others contractors where they couldn't find it, what will happen? If your query is somewhere realistic queries, then if it is certified, okay, if it is confirmed by the consultant that your query is correct, thereafterwards the consultants, what they will do is they inform all other contractors also. Understand? Even though you are a contractor, but you didn't find that. But he is the only one found that problem. It means it applies to everyone. So he will inform all the contractors. There is an amendment on this BOQ. Amendment means what? Changes on the BOQ. So make these quantities system. Sometimes the huge differences between the BOQ quantities and the estimated quantities. Because everyone is a human being.
You do
Mistakes. We do mistakes. Even the contractor, we do mistakes. So, if you agree to this, and during the construction you can't say BOQ quantity says this one, but physically if I start the work, the quantities exceeded my limit. You can't say. If you say so, consultants will say, no, why the hell you will agree for this? That's why we gave you the BOQ, we gave you the drawings to check it out. You agreed and signed every page. Now we say that we can't do the project. As per the drawing, something different in the quantity, but for the BOQ, quantity is less. If you say it leads to dispute, then finally, most of the cases I have seen, I have come across so many, not so many, few scenarios based on this concept, right? BOQ quantity differs from the physical quantities, so the problem has come. It depends on the contract also. If it is a remeasurable contract, no problem. If it is a lump sum contract, you will be in trouble because fee is fixed. Fee is fixed. If it is a variation, it's okay, fine, but this is as per the contract. So what we have to do, even though if the quantity is exceeding your limit, you have to do by your pocket money. That's it. Why is that? Client has a confirmed contract with him, you signed off to complete this building within 250.35 million, for example. So, this quantity in the BOQ is 50, but physically if you measure it has become 525. There are possibilities. So, additional 475 quantity should be made by the client, contractor, without any profit or fee. Everything is there.
But you said in the first class about this that there's some kind of agreement. There's some agreement made that after this contract, after the binding of the contract, if there is any kind of adjustment or if there is anything, you can still...
Can be. No. Anything before you sign, you shall discuss. Even before you sign, if you have any confusions on some terms and conditions, make it conform with the consultant. Why? Sometimes you might read some paragraphs, you will understand something. But consultants will draft the contract in a different way. But just looking at the figure, even some terms have two different meanings. Some logical terms. So if you have slight confusion, make it conform with it. If it is the case, what is that? If it is the case, what will be the solution? Then you start signing.
You mentioned two types of agreements.
Yeah. Sorry?
You mentioned two types of agreements.
Two types of agreements?
In the first class, when we're doing building economics.
Contracts, all these types of contracts.
You talked about this when finalizing the contracts.
Yeah.
There's a particular agreement, there's a particular contract whereby nothing can be changed, even if there is any.
No, not two, many. Lump sum contract,
Okay.
measure and pay contract, remeasurable contract, reimbursement contract. Likewise, there are many contracts. If it is a remeasurable contract, of course, fine, no problem. Based on the physical quantity, we shall measure it and I will pay you whatever the works you do physically in the site. If it is a lump sum contract, Even though if you pay or not, I don't worry about what you do in a site. BOQ says something, this is amount is fixed, I'll pay in the percentage. Okay, this month we have completed 5%, then I will release the money to you. If the finally you will reach whatever the figures you claimed, whatever the figures you priced, understand? Based on the percentage we normally pay, but we don't measure it if it is exceeding by your BOQ limits. There are different types of contracts. Okay? Right, so you know that I have listed down some of the functions of monetization and everything here. We just go through it, what are the things I have explained, everything is here. Right? We just have a look about this one. Right. Another one I want to say, the conditions of contract. Condition of contract. That is important. Condition of contract means, for this particular project, what is the condition? What are the conditions? For this project, what is the condition? There are different conditions of contracts. Normally here in Qatar we use QCC, Qatar Condition of Contract. Right? Even in Sri Lanka we use it. It means for every country we have different conditions of contracts and some conditions of contracts, some internationally global, it may recognize. Normally I shall tell you. That is the most popular one. If you take 1999 version, there are different books. It means it's something like a logo. It's something like a logo. If you are constructing this particular project, whatever problems or whatever shortfalls comes, based on what we have to take the decision. Understand? Based on what? FIDIC is one of the, if you ask yourself, you should be familiar with the FIDIC, but unfortunately for the HND students, this one is not in the syllabus. If you do your degrees, this will be explained to you in detail. You have to get a flow book, right? You have to get familiar. There are so many different courses are there. Every course, for example, if we have any problem, they say time extension is there. We don't know how to find a solution for that problem. If you go and tell the book, there is a solution for that. You have problems with the client. You and me having the problem, how to sort it out. There should be some standard laws. If you go for a court, how the judges are giving you the judgment based on the ground rules of the country. Likewise, for the construction also we have some ground rules. Some rules. Okay. This is the standard rules. This is your opinion, this is his opinion. Then compare both of your opinions and I should compare with what the rule says. Then I shall come to a conclusion. Whose fault is this? Understand? Likewise, there are different types of conditions of contracts. Normally we have JCT and everything. I have listed down here. Just go through it. JCT, ICTAC, FIDIC, so many. We can list it down many. These are the conditions of contract, right? And another one is thing saying procurement. It's a procurement. What do you mean by procurement? Do you have any ideas about procurement? Procurement, you all are working in the construction industry. Most of you are working in the construction industry. Procurement means it's a systematic approach. Procurement means it's a systematic approach. Understand? It's a systematic approach. How we do the project. Right? So I'll explain these things to you. Procurement. To understand the procurement definitions, to become familiar with the process of procurements and to understand the procurement definitions and procurement. I'll tell you the whole summary. The entire process of which the business acquires from the external sources, the resources, and that they need to carry out their missions and admissions from this program. Right, it means to do the program, we have some missions, understand? And we have some objectives to achieve our goals. Why we formulate some objectives? We have to formulate some objectives to achieve our aim. This is the aim of the project. How to achieve that? We have to formulate some objectives. If you do one thing, something like that, we have to plan. If we plan, that is the objective. Based on our objectives, we shall achieve the aim. For example, you want to become